like to welcome you this afternoon to our first episode of Living United with Nashua Business. Living United with Nashua Business is a television show that we're going to be broadcasting periodically where we'll be interviewing business owners, business people, and their businesses from the local community. In particular, we're looking to sit down with people who've been very involved with giving back to the community in one way or another. This afternoon, we're interviewing Cheryl Lindner, who's the Director of Corporate Relations for the Nashua Silver Knights here in Nashua. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. So before we start talking about the Silver Knights, which is obviously why we're here and wanting to talk about, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Cheryl. Are you from Nashua originally, or?
No,
where?
Actually, I am from Kingston, Pennsylvania, which is a small town on the Susquehanna River. It's near Scranton, Pennsylvania. And I grew up there and ended up attending Boston University, and then met my husband and moved to Nashua a little over 20 years ago. So
Did you and your husband meet in school, or?
Did not, no.
Oh, in work afterwards?
Met through a friend.
Or at a bar, or what?
We met through a friend.
Through a friend.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
very nice.
So,
And how long have you been in Nashua?
a little over 20 years.
20 years, okay.
Yes.
And I understand you have a couple of daughters here as well.
Yes, I do. I have two daughters. One is a junior at North, and the other is finishing her freshman year at University of Vermont. And she's studying environmental science and GIS.
What is GIS? So it sounds like
GPS.
Sounds like a GPS or mapping or maps, or what is that?
It is mapping. It is. They study the land, I guess, and they do mapping of the land. And I guess one of the big environmental topics now is that the oceans are rising. So a lot of the seaport towns, many that we have in New England, are in danger of flooding 50, 70 years in the future. So these maps are, I guess, a critical part in their study of how fast the water's rising. So it's something that she's interested in and she wants to do. So she's finishing her freshman year next week. She'll be home.
Very nice.
Yes.
That sounds great. Well, thank you for telling us about that. So you've been with the Silver Knights for a couple of years now, right?
This is my third season.
Okay, and the Silver Knights have been around for about the same amount of time, if I understand.
This is their sixth season.
Has it really been 6 years?
It has been, yes.
So prior to the Silver Knights, we had the Nashua Defenders.
Yes, we did.
And we had the Nashua Pride.
Yes.
And way back in the Wayback Machine, we had the Nashua Dodgers.
Yes.
So we have a long history of baseball here in Nashua.
Yes.
And so what makes the Nashua Silver Knights different?
I think it's our business model. We have collegiate players, where the other teams were either independent teams or minor league teams, and we're collegiate, so the players don't get paid, and it's a good business model, and it kind of keeps the costs down too for us. Yeah. So I think that's important. We can put that funding into the family entertainment aspect of the business, so we can focus on making memories for the families that come out, instead of player salaries. So.
Yeah, and I know that it's still very competitive baseball, having been to a couple of games, myself, and I've played at a collegiate level, can be really very good.
Yes, and the funny thing is, when I started working for the Silver Knights, I thought, oh, collegiate baseball, what level are we going to get of baseball? And it's phenomenal. The players give 150% all the time. They want to do well for their colleges. They want to do well for their career, for the scouts that come out. Yep. They want to be scouted and they want to be recruited. So they really want to get to the minors and then the major leagues. So they do give 150%, and the talent is wonderful. So if you haven't been to a game, you should definitely come, because you will have a good time.
I know that you also, not just on the field, but also off the field, you work with a lot of students as well.
We do.
I can give a lot of interns from local colleges who do things like, I know, the mascot, or throwing the T-shirts into the stand, or what are all the different things that your interns actually do at the game?
Yes, we have different departments. So we have a community relations department, and they go out into the community with the mascot, and they also run our on-field games. So if you've been to a game, you see them on the field all the time, like with the T-shirt toss, or they'll do the hula hooping or the tug of war, musical chairs. So it all is about the fan experience. So bringing the fans down onto the field, meeting the players, interacting, and getting them to be part of the whole night.
Yep.
And then we have our an accounting intern that helps me, and we have ticket office interns, and then I'm trying to think and then concessions, which they do so much work just to make sure that everybody's fed and happy and the lines
So those
stay down.
aren't interns, though. I know that.
Yeah.
Because my daughter worked as in the concession
Yes,
stand.
she did.
I think for 2 years, she was like the beer girl. She was very popular.
Yes.
But I didn't know there were interns that worked there as well.
Yes, we have a supervisor for each stand. So we do have interns from the local colleges that want to go into the sports management or maybe hospitality ministry. They're kind of not sure, and it's a great way for them to get their feet wet and see the whole picture, see which way they want to go.
So I assume if there are local students, local kids still looking for a job, that they should call you guys and maybe look for employment this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be hiring for game day staff in the month of May, and late May we usually finish up the interviewing. So they can go to our website and print off the application.
Okay.
So yes.
Oh, very good, very good. So I have to ask you this because, in my deep and thorough research on the subject of Cheryl Lindner, all things Cheryl Lindner.
Oh no.
I happened to come across the fact that your favorite baseball player is Derek Jeter.
It is.
Now, you got to tell me about that.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Pennsylvania. I was originally born in New Jersey. And my mom is from New Jersey. My dad is from New York. So I have very fond memories of riding the subway to the old Yankee Stadium with my grandfather for bat day, which probably in hindsight wasn't a great thing to have all those bats on the New York subway with little children. But,
yeah, I'm sure.
But I've always been a Yankees fan.
How does that work working for you up here in New England?
I get a lot of guff for it. I'm not going to lie, but I'm a loyal fan. So through thick and thin, through good and bad, I will always be a Yankees
Well, I give
fan.
you credit because I found it on the internet, and so it's right out there. So well, good. Hats off to you for that.
Thank you.
So one thing that fascinates me about the Silver Knights is perhaps uniquely different about the Silver Knights, besides your business model, is you do have such a strong focus on giving back to the community. And I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about that. Where does this focus come from, and what are the types of things you're trying to do to help make Nashua a better place?
Well, when I was hired, part of me accepting the job was that once I got comfortable with my duties with the team, that in the off season, because our off season is 9 months.
Yeah, it's long.
It's a long off season. So part of my commitment when I took the job was that they would let me go out into the community. I always cherished volunteering from the time my girls were young, in the school, at my church, in town, because I live in Nashua and I work in Nashua. My kids were born and raised here, so I always felt that you need to give back to your community, make it a better place. So when Tim Bauman hired me, I said, once I get comfortable here, in the off season, I want to start to volunteer and do things in the community and get the team involved more in the community. That really hadn't been done up to that point because there was some turnover in the front office, and I think, as people got comfortable with their jobs, there was that turnover, so there really wasn't time to focus on a community aspect. So Tim knew me for a long time, and he said, nope, that's fine. We want you to take the job. That's fine. Get comfortable and then do what you want in the community. I think that's a great idea.
Right.
So about 18 months ago, I really started to get involved. I contacted Great American Downtown, and Paul is wonderful.
Yep,
and then
Paul
Shea, he's awesome.
Yep.
And then I started to get involved at Chamber of Commerce events, and they are a wonderful group of people and do so much to enhance the city of Nashua. So it was really a good fit for me.
Yeah, and I know you just became an ambassador at the Chamber.
I did.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
I'm doing that too. So
yes.
I think that's great.
Thank you. Yes, I had my first sign-in event, which was a little hiccupy, but it was okay.
You did fine. I was there with you. You did great.
Thanks. My second one's tomorrow, so we'll see if
tomorrow morning?
Yes, tomorrow.
I'll be with you again.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Outstanding.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was, I was very flattered that they asked me to be an ambassador because it's a wonderful organization. The other thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to give back to those less fortunate in our community. So we actually, for the first time, did a Toys for Tots drive last Christmas, and we had so many toys that we donated. We lost count. We had boxes and boxes that we donated. We had always done Soup Kitchen Sundays. Gurney's was a sponsor for that, and they continue to support us.
So what is Soup Kitchen Sundays?
Okay, Soup Kitchen Sundays are every Sunday that we play.
Yep.
We have collection bins out, and Gurney's is our sponsor, and they allow us to discount our tickets on that day if you bring a non-perishable food item to the ballpark. So you bring a non-perishable item, you get a discount on your ticket. Everybody wins. You have a great time at the ballpark, and we can contribute to the local food pantries for those in need. And summer's actually their highest need because the kids are home all day as opposed to being fed in school once or twice a day. So now mom and dad are feeding their kids 3 times a day instead of just once. So
well, it's also, I know that it's very easy to come across food donations during the holidays.
Yes.
And to the point where there are only so many turkeys that you can actually take home with you, right?
Absolutely.
But the summertime is definitely a hard time at the food pantries, so that's really great.
Yeah. And
awesome. And by the way, Gurney's, a shameless plug for Gurney's. They're a fantastic company as well.
They're wonderful.
And Bill and his wife give back a lot to the community too.
Yes, Bill and Charlotte are wonderful individuals. They're wonderful human beings, and they just have a fabulous business, and we appreciate their partnership so we can continue to do that. So
that reminds me, I need to have Bill on the show too.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Charlotte too. She's always behind the scenes, but she's wonderful.
Yeah. So besides Soup Kitchen Sundays, I also know that we have United Way Night this year. So
absolutely.
Of course, I'm going to put in a shameless plug for that somewhere today. But
opening night is United Way Night.
Yeah.
So on our website, NashuaSilverKnights.com, you can go on and buy tickets for the June 3rd game. You can go in, and there's a section that says promo code. And the promo code is Live United. Yep. So you can type in the promo code, and $1 for every ticket purchase will go to the United Way. If you're not tech savvy, like I tend not to be, you can always call the office, 718-8883. We will be happy to plug the code in for you so that United Way will get the funding. And you can send us an email as well. You can go to the website and contact us, and we can also do it for you and help you out. So.
Well, and besides that, you guys have been so generous also. I mean, that evening, besides that, we're also going to be, doing some fundraising with you to help out some of the area reading programs.
Yes.
And also all of our agencies are going to be setting up a table in the concourse. So it should be a really great night.
Yes, yes.
We're definitely looking forward to it.
Oh, we are too. It's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be bright and sunny and 80 degrees.
I'm hoping that because usually I get rained out with things like this. So besides buying the tickets online or calling up, just wanted to ask, are there other ways that people can find out about the Silver Knights? Facebook or Twitter or any of those things?
Yes, we do have a Facebook account, and we do have Twitter. We have Instagram and Snapchat. So usually the Snapchat will get updated during the games, but the other 3 I think are updated fairly regularly. So yes. Okay, good. Do you find that a lot of people follow you on Twitter and stuff like that? Or? They do.
Yeah, are there like special hashtags that people use, like, I don't know, hashtag Go Silver Knights, or I don't know what?
I think it's just Nashua Silver Knights. Like I said, I'm not tech savvy, but if you Google us, we pop up everywhere. So.
Okay. So another fun fact question for you.
Uh-oh.
I also noticed somewhere, I don't know where I came across this, you said that your favorite quote is, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
Yes.
Which is from Jaws.
It is.
So is that your favorite movie too, or is that just your favorite quote, or what's the story there?
Yeah, there's so many times in my life that I thought we're going to need a bigger boat, but it goes back to my childhood. My mom is a big Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
So we used to watch some of those movies together, some that didn't scare me too much, and my dad always used to take us fishing. So we had a little rowboat. We'd row out to the middle of a lake, and then we have to row it back after we were done fishing. And I love to fish. So so Jaws is one of my favorite movies.
Do you scuba dive too?
No.
See, that would give you a whole different perspective on sharks.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I do. And my biggest fear is like, I'm going to run into a shark.
Maybe because I've seen Jaws so much, that's why I don't. I've snorkeled just a little, but I don't go too far in.
Yeah, but in the pool doesn't count, Cheryl.
Just at the shoreline, you know, because I am short as well, so I don't want to.
Well, that's where the sharks are, is right by the shoreline.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Where there's a lot of them there.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any, thank goodness. But yeah, I do. That's one of my favorite movies, and and it just brings back memories of me fishing with my dad and then watching the movies with my mom.
So I'm curious again, maybe you can explain again about the Soup Kitchen Sundays. What would a person, so a person comes to Sunday game, what would they expect to see differently or do differently to help support the Soup Kitchen?
They could just show up with a non-perishable food item. When they go to buy their ticket, they would get the discounted price. They'd say, I have a food item.
Oh, very good.
And then as they're walking through the gate, one of our community relations interns would put the food item in the collection bin, but there'd be signage up, so we have it, and there'd be some signs posted. So
okay,
yes,
that's very good. Do you have other opportunities for? You mentioned Gurney's is a sponsor of that event.
Yes.
Do you have other sponsorship opportunities for businesses that might be watching and wanting to find also a different way to partner with you, maybe to give back of their own?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we have one agency, Visiting Angels, and they're sponsoring Alzheimer Awareness Night.
Yeah.
And that's going to be on a Friday in July. I believe it's July 15th. And anyone that has a business that has a cause that's near and dear to their heart should give us a call, because we'd love to build a night around that on one of our open nights that we have.
What would a business do to help support something like that? Like you said, Gurney's sponsors the Soup Kitchen.
Yes.
What would a business do if they would say Visiting Angels was something which spoke to them?
Yes.
How would they participate in that?
Well, they do long-term care.
Right.
And so they take care of people that are homebound and help with basic living and daily duties and things like that. So when I approached Louise at Visiting Angels, they do a lot of care for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. So that my mother-in-law suffered from that for years, and so that's a cause that's near and dear to my heart. So I approached her and I said, could we do something to raise awareness? So she said, absolutely. So she actually is sponsoring a table for that evening. They do an Alzheimer's walk in the fall. So it's great to get people to sign up for donations or to, if they're interested in walking or being part of the walk. And we're actually going to do some purple glow sticks that night before fireworks.
Oh, nice.
For the crowd, because purple is the color for Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Do you have fireworks every Friday night now? Or?
Every Friday night we have a game. And July 3rd, which is a Sunday.
Monday's July 4th this year? That's
yes,
actually good.
It
so
is.
we get Monday off.
Absolutely. Well, I don't, but you do. So.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I'm at the stadium all day. So.
Yeah, that's true. I can't imagine July 4th is a quiet day at Holman Stadium.
It's not, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Now, have you guys had anything to do with all the renovations that have been done in the last couple of years?
We have not. It is a city facility, but we've worked with the city, and they've been very good to us. This year they have upgraded the home dugout. It is anticipated to be done right before our opening. Yeah. And the masonry work is absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. But they help us keep it clean and help with the landscaping, and they've helped us open up some other areas for our fans that we wouldn't otherwise been able to do. Right. So yes. And I know that people can also rent the suites. Yes. And that's very economical, I understand, as well. It is. Yes, we just went to a tiered pricing. So our games that are Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they're $150 for the night. And that's a great deal. It is a great deal because you get complimentary popcorn and water and soda. So yeah, I know that. We've done that. Yes. My family's done it too. I'm a big fan of the complimentary soda. Yes. That's great. Absolutely. Yeah. All Coca-Cola products. So well, I don't play favorites. There you go. So United Way Night on June 3rd. You mentioned that you can buy tickets, use the Live United promo code, and that all of our agencies will be there. We'll be doing some fundraising for that. Yes, they will. Are there any other, what are some of your other promotional nights throughout the season, besides, not necessarily for a cause, but just promotional nights in general? Well, for opening night, the mayor will be throwing out the first pitch as well, and it's your birthday, so everyone can wish you a
thanks
happy
for
birthday.
that. We really needed to see that on television.
You brought up Derek Jeter, so it's all fair game.
Well, I guess it is.
There you go.
That's true.
So the mayor will be throwing out their first pitch, and we're going to talk about your reading initiative. And there'll be a number to text to if people want to donate, or I guess bring a book too that night.
Yeah, they can bring a book as well. No, I meant like some of the other promo nights throughout the season. Okay. I know you have a whole promotional calendar, right?
Yes, we do. We have a Bruins night, so Jack Edwards will be there with Renee Rancourt, and he will be.
I'm such a bad hockey fan. Who are these people?
Okay, Jack Edwards is an announcer, so he's on Nesson. He's wonderful.
Okay.
There's actually two announcers, and Jack Edwards is the one with the glasses. So if you're not sure, Andy Brickley's the other one, but Jack Edwards will be coming. Okay. He came last year. He announced a couple innings for us. He was wonderful. Yeah. And Renee Rancourt sings the national anthem at the home Bruins games.
Okay.
And he is so funny, and he's such a character. He goes around and lets everybody try on his championship ring. And he just has a great time with it. So very approachable. They both are. So it should be a wonderful night.
That sounds great.
We have Captain America coming in July. We have Elsa from Frozen, so we have a princess night. So we have those packages, which is great. The little girls love it.
Is that your first time doing the princess night, or?
No, we've done it now. Well, we've done it every year I've been there, so I don't know if they've done it prior to that. But this has been this will be the third year, and Elsa's wonderful.
And don't you have a schools night as well, like an education night or something?
We have Education Day. It's Tuesday.
During the day.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, June 7th, and it's a day game so that the kids can come and enjoy a baseball game at the end of the year, and then they get done in time to go back to get the school buses to go home. So it's an 11 o'clock start.
Very nice.
Yes. So, and Service Credit Union is going to be handing out some things that day for the kids to take home. So, so we'll probably give that to the teachers on their way out. So
that's good.
Yes.
That's great. So how many teams are there in your league now?
There's 10.
10 teams, because I remember when it started, there were like 3?
There's 4. There were 4, yes.
And we were the champions.
We were, and we're hoping for that this year, too.
Well, it would be, I guess, a little more meaningful when it's like 1 out of 10 versus 1 out of 4.
Yes.
Because we were automatically, I think, in the playoffs when there were only 4 of us. So,
yes. And to be fair, I think we were in the harder division last year. Our records were pretty good. So so we made the playoffs, but we had 2 away games and didn't get back home.
You have a lot of returning players?
The roster is set. We have a few returning players. We had some people that moved to some different summer leagues. And then we had some that were graduating, so they weren't eligible anymore. Our players are eligible before their senior year, so up until the end of the summer between junior and senior year. But if they're going to be graduating, then they're not eligible anymore. So we did have a few graduates, which was sad. We have a fan favorite that won't be returned. So Lucas Olin graduated this year, so he won't be playing for us. I'm sure he'll still be around the stadium. So.
Where was he from?
He was from southern New Hampshire.
Oh, so he's a local, local.
Yes, and he's a pitcher. So we also have a fan favorite, Manny Cruz, who is on our roster.
Yeah, I remember Manny from last year.
Yes, very acrobatic. Everybody loved him.
Was he third base or?
I believe he was shortstop.
Shortstop, okay.
Shortstop or second base.
Yeah. I remember he was somewhere like out there to the left.
In the infield. Yes, and he's wonderful, and we're hoping to get him back. If he gets drafted, good for him, but we will miss him. So, because sometimes our rosters will change based on that.
So after your players graduate, where have they gone on to? Any real success stories you can talk about at this point? Or?
Oh, this is more general manager stuff, but I do know Chris Shaw. Chris Shaw was drafted, and I believe he is playing in the minor leagues right now.
Very nice.
And I'm sorry, but I don't recall the team. I think it's
we can talk about Derek Jeter again.
Okay, we can talk. And his Turn 2 Foundation. He's also a great community.
He is
community person.
He is, and I will say, I was raised to be a Yankee hater. I have to admit that.
Oh, okay. But, so you have the hat, the Y.
But not because I grew up in California, but my father grew up in New York in the 50s. So he was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. Oh. And so if you're a Brooklyn Dodgers fan, it's just like being a Red Sox fan. There is no more evil in empire than the Yankees.
Okay. Sorry.
It's just in my blood. No,
right.
no, I'm the one that should be sorry.
That's all right. I mean, I go to Red Sox functions, and I thought, oh, if they only knew. But, but the Red Sox I've met have been very nice. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. That's really great. So in the remaining time that we have left, is there anything else that you would want for the people watching to know about the Silver Knights or your community approach or anything in general?
We always look at ourselves as a part of Nashua, not an attraction in Nashua. We're all about the family experience, and we realize that people's spare dollars are shrinking. Right. They're going away. So we try to make ourselves affordable. So our mission statement is to provide affordable family fun in southern New Hampshire, along with baseball. So baseball is actually kind of our secondary thing. We want families to come out and have a night out for affordable rates and build those memories. We want them to build the memories because so much now we're with technology.
Right.
And, families are split up in different parts of the house, or kids are on their little whatever games. And
more than they should be, probably.
Absolutely. And so, we want families to come out and actually talk to each other, interact, maybe have a hot dog or go play in the kids zone and have, just have a nice experience. So, and we are very committed to giving back to the city of Nashua. We have worked very hard. Baseball in Nashua has kind of a checkered past.
It struggled.
It did. It did struggle, and we tried. We struggled with that too. I think the first few years of the team's existence here, and we have worked very hard to be part of the city and to be involved in the city and to give back to the city. We love Holman Stadium. It's a great facility, and it's a wonderful place to be. And I'm very fortunate to be able to work there every day. That's where I work. I work at a ball field, and I never take for granted how fortunate I am for that.
Well, thank you, Cheryl. And I have to say thank you to you and to the Silver Knights for all you do to give back to the community. It's wonderful to have a healthy baseball team in our midst and one that cares so much about our community.
Thank you.
And I do have a gift for you.
Oh, wow, presents.
Can take back to presents. Nobody comes on my show without getting presents.
Oh, there you go.
There's a water bottle from
Thank
the United
you.
Way. And there's a T-shirt. I suspect this might need some shrinking in the wash, but
that's all right.
That's for you as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And so thank you for coming onto our show.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you on June 3rd for opening night.
Yes.
And remember, Live United for your promo code. And if somebody wants to perhaps donate to our book fundraising, they can text books 2016 to 41444.
Yes.
And that would be another way to participate. Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the 3rd.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.